It heard the sound. That's why it stopped eating and stared directly at me. So I stared back at the kangaroo. And in that moment of silence, we both agreed it was not going to end very well. The sound that it heard was my flat battery. You know that sound? And then that's it. Silence. But the interesting thing was, I was in the back fields of a cemetery in a suburb in Perth. I don't even know why I was in the back fields, well away from where the entrance was, at 20 to 5 in the afternoon, and it was cold. I was freezing. But the thought of the main gates getting closed at 5 p.m. in 20 minutes' time had me a little bit panicking. I know you see all the horror movies of getting trapped in a cemetery at night time with the gates closed. I don't know what's going to come out. But for a very brief moment, I was hoping there was a ghost mechanic that could just mysteriously put some life back into the battery so that it could turn it over. And I waited 5 minutes. I gave it another shot. A little bit more energy. I thought, maybe there's hope, but maybe there's not. Being technology inclined, straight on to chat. What's the solution? Trapped in a cemetery, dead battery, with the kangaroo still staring at me. It was a problem. ChatGPT gave me all the usual solutions of, it's going to cost you. To get back on the road, it's going to cost you any way you can. Even with the gates closed, there could be an added problem. How are they going to get in? What's the after hours number? And all I could think of was, I was cold. I was really, really, really cold. What was I doing there in the first place? Anyway, that's another story. So I waited, and your mind tends to drift away into different thoughts. I'm not a horror movie specialist myself. I don't watch them. It scares me. That's why I don't watch them. But I think of all the things in a cemetery at night time. What could happen? What is in a cemetery? I've never spent a night in a cemetery. Cold. That's all I could think about. And I waited and I looked at my watch and I thought, if I'm going to get a tow truck, I better do it now. In fact, no, now it's too late. It's gone. So at 13 minutes to 5, I thought, please, for the ghost mechanic, come and breathe life into my battery. And away it went. The engine actually started. Oh, it was for joy. Oh, joy. I had a running motor car for 13 minutes to 5. And I got out of there as quickly without speeding too much and dodging the kangaroos, of course. They're an unusual animal. They'll look at your car and they'll just decide to jump in front of it for no particular reason. And I got out. And I got thinking, well, was that a smart move? Was using ChatGPT help me? I'm not sure whether it did. It gave me all the options, but it didn't really help me all that much. But the nice thing was, it got me home. And I was grateful, really grateful for that. That night, I did all the planning. I did the search. What type of battery do I need? There's a 3, double 5, 4 calcium. I don't buy them anymore. They don't make them. It's old-fashioned. The battery was, 5, 6 years old, maybe. And my beloved Mercedes-Benz, it's aging as well. But I had a plan. The next morning, I would just drive up to the local auto shop, buy a new battery. How hard could it be to fit it? I don't know. So my problem started when the next day I went to start, and this time, click, 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 click. There was no turning over the engine. It didn't even have enough power to even make a noise. Just that click, 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 click down. I knew it was dead. No problem. I got a taxi up to the auto shop, had the numbers. This is what I want to buy. This is over battery. Oh, no, they don't make those anymore. No, we don't have that. Oh, yes, but I looked at it online. No, I'm sorry. That stock's not right. This is the battery you need. Of course, double the price. But when you're caught like that, you pay the price. And I'm thinking, well, financially, I'm still better off because I didn't have to pay the money to the auto club to get me back on the road anyway. So I figured I was miles ahead. As it turned out, when I got to the checkout, it was on special anyway, so I saved some more money. It wasn't the money side. I thought this is an easy fix. But something I did, which I'm really proud of, I went back to AI. Yes, I like to ask questions to AI. I live a smarter life. And I said, how do you change a battery on a B180 Mercedes SV car? And the interesting scenario, it said, well, you're going to need 14mm socket, a 13mm socket, a shifting spanner, and some dexterity. I thought, dexterity? What's that all about? And I actually asked the question, please explain the dexterity tool. I didn't understand that. Well, the battery in that model is located underneath the driver's seat, which means you'll be working underneath the steering wheel. It weighs 14.4 kilos. You're going to have to lift that out and twist your body to get it back in there and put it in. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm sure I can do that. I didn't understand about the 13 or 14mm socket. Well, why would you need that? The battery's just got 2 terminals. You just take it off. So I tested my dexterity, lifting the 14.4 kilo battery out, which was a really effort. In fact, I struggled. I suddenly realized my dexterity wasn't as good as it used to be. But I did get it out onto the floor. And here I am on my knees, lifting, plonked on the concrete beside the car, and I took a breath. And I looked up. Now, if anyone is into gambling, which I'm not, but if you're intrigued by coincidences that happen in the universe and the odds of things, I swear, I've never seen it before. In Perth, they have a Royal Automobile roadside assist that changes batteries, and the yellow van was pulling into my neighbour's house directly across the road to change their battery at exactly the same time as I'm down on my knees changing mine. Now, I don't know what the coincidence of that is, but for any statisticians, that's got to be long odds. It didn't help me very much. But the interesting thing of that story is he did it about 10 minutes flat. I hadn't even got the new battery into the car yet. He was like, done, finished, gone in about 8 minutes, done. With my dexterity, I managed the heavier battery back in, and I put it in. But the interesting thing there was I struggled because there's a bracket with these sockets. And I didn't realize that you needed, as I mentioned, a 14 and a 13. Why didn't they make them the same size? But a 14mm and a 13mm bolt held the bracket, which held the battery in. And they were harder to do than the 2 terminals on top. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I asked for help. Artificial intelligence did help me. It said I needed dexterity. I needed the ability to carry that weight. But I got it in there. And eventually I put it in there. And of course, all the clocks come back up and all the instrumentation. And there was a sub-note with AI where it said, don't forget to reset all the instrumentation, which I don't know how the professional across the road in the yellow van, how he did it so quickly. I'm really not sure. I reset the clock and maybe the radio. That was about the only 2 things that I could figure out. And that was it. And the job was done. And I turned it over, and yes, it made that humming sound where it started first go with more gusto than the engine has ever had before. But I got to thinking, all the things that could have happened. Your mind plays tricks on you, doesn't it? Being trapped in a cemetery at night. I would not have enjoyed that. Would I have walked home? Did I have a phone? Yes. Would have all then. It could have gone really bad the other way too. There's so many things that play havoc in your mind when you think about it. Anyway, that's it. Back on the road, battery fixed, a couple $100 later, lesson learned. It's all a good deal. But I do leave with one point. Don't discard the intelligence of AI. Even if it's a simple thing that you think you know, that a battery's got 2 terminals on top, you can do that. Just ask the question. You might get surprised of an extra answer like the dexterity required. Cheers. Thanks for sharing.